stars in a hit reality show. She's best friends with the most notorious woman in Hollywood. She's the daughter of pop royalty and goddaughter to the king of pop himself. But there's a catch. Nicole Richie's privileged life comes with public scandal. She's had multiple arrests.
That's when they found drugs in the car.
Several trips to rehab.
All my friends went to rehab.
A complicated childhood.
I think in the beginning she was a little traumatized because she wasn't sure where everybody was going.
And a battle with drugs.
Would you ever do heroin again?
For the next half hour, you will hear all about Nicole's fascinating young life. From being adopted at an early age, to surviving her parents' messy divorce, to being arrested for possession of heroin. The 22-year-old lets the world inside of her world. This is the story of Nicole Richie. Nicole Camille Richie was born September 21st, 1981 in Berkeley, California. Her birth father is a musician who performed with superstar Lionel Richie. Her birth mother was said to be a backstage assistant at his shows. But ever since a young age, Nicole has considered Lionel and his wife Brenda her true parents.
So Lionel's your father and Brenda's your mother?
Yes.
And you were adopted at what age? I've heard different things. I've heard 3, I've heard 9.
Well, I started living here at 3, and you know, I mean, it's just a piece of paper, so that officially happened later, but I was living here.
In this house?
Yes.
Her biological parents felt that the Richies could provide a better life for Nicole. So at a young age, she moved into their lavish home in Bel Air, California, where she started a life with Brenda and Lionel.
Describe Nicole as a little girl. What was she like?
The joke of it is that she is exactly the way she is now was the way when she was growing up. The exact same way. She was full of practical jokes and full of life.
Lionel Richie's successful music career allowed his family a lavish lifestyle. His journey spans over almost 30 years, beginning with R&B sensation The Commodores. In the 1980s, Lionel embarked on what would become an incredibly lucrative solo career. He has sold over 100 million albums worldwide, recorded 9 #1 hits, and has won several awards. Lionel became a pop icon. Nicole remembers when she first realized that her dad wasn't like the other dads.
My dad just finished doing a video. He just wrapped a video, and he was like French kissing this woman, and I didn't understand why.
Kissing a woman? How could you do that to your little girl, letting her see that video?
She walked in right when I had a kissing scene with the girl, and she looked at me and said, "Dad, why are you kissing this?" And I said, "No, I'm acting."
But Lionel's fame didn't make him less of a father figure in Nicole's eyes.
I don't think of my dad as Lionel Richie. I don't think of him like that. He's my dad who comes downstairs in the morning and eats grits and eggs, and that's just who he is.
Life was great for the Richies until one very public incident that tore the family apart. In 1988, Brenda discovered Lionel having an affair with young model Diane Alexander. In the middle of the night, Brenda showed up at Diane's apartment and a fight broke out. According to police, Brenda flew into a rage and started hitting and kicking both Lionel and Diane. The marriage ended shortly after. Brenda was devastated.
She went through a lot, especially with the divorce, and I just really, really respect her. As a woman, I just know that it's so hard. I mean, to have that kind of thing happen to you and for it to be so public. And it was in the 80s. It was the pinnacle of my dad's career, and it was just so big and it was so public. And the fact that she handled it so well and that she got through it is just like so amazing.
And so you watched it happen, obviously.
Yes, I did.
How did you get through it?
You know, you don't realize that you're going through it until it's done, and then you're kind of like, you know, when something they're so close to you, and so you can't really see. If something's right here, it's so close you can't see anything. So it's not until I actually stepped back and realized that all of that was happening that I was like, whoa, that was kind of a lot.
I think in the beginning she was a little traumatized because she wasn't sure where everybody was going.
Lionel went on to marry Diane in 1996, and the couple has 2 children. But even that relationship turned sour After nearly 7 years of marriage, the couple separated.
So, my dad's getting separated right now, and my brother's that age. And it's, I want to make sure to stay close to him and to my sister to just make sure that they are stable and okay.
Nicole's extended family has also faced its share of drama, especially Nicole's godfather, Michael Jackson.
Having spent a lot of time with him, I mean, do you think he could ever be guilty of any of this?
I don't, no.
You don't, and
No,
you've been
I do
very
not.
verbal about that.
I think that it's important for me to speak out coming from a place of spending a lot of time there as a child. So if he didn't do it to me, why would he do it to anyone else?
Right, you can imagine.
Yeah, I don't understand why, if he didn't do it to me.
Yeah.
I'm cute. No, I'm just kidding.
Nicole seems to always be laughing, even when we tackle heavy issues. And I can't help but wonder if she masks her pain with a smile.
So you've dealt with a lot. For such a young person, seriously, and it's pretty amazing because I notice, especially on the show and when I've seen you on red carpets or even at parties, that you always have a smile. You always have this laughter. You're doing it now. No, I'm serious. I always see it about you. I always notice it. So is it something you picked up, to kind of mask what's happening inside?
I really don't know. I've had people ask me that before, like, what is that about? What is that about? And I really don't know. It's just when you're laughing and you're in just like a whole separate world, and I'm just like permanently there, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Growing up in this beautiful Bel Air estate, Nicole continued to live a life of wealth and privilege. And it was at the exclusive private school Buckley that she met a little blonde girl named Paris Hilton.
You've been friends with Paris for how long now?
Since I was 2.
Since you were 2?
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Well, our parents are friends, and when you're in the same kind of social circle, like your kids all go to the same school, and she actually lived right down the street from me, so we had like the same piano teacher and tennis instructor and violin teacher. I mean, we had the same everything.
Life seemed innocent enough, but trouble was just around the corner. When we come back, Nicole goes from rich to wild, discovering the darker side of the club scene.
So he turns around and he grabs me towards him.
And we have the video you haven't seen, a little girl following in her father's footsteps. Then later, Nicole hits rock bottom.
So I asked the police to go in my car and get my ID out. That's when they found drugs in the car.
Hear the truth in her own words when Nicole Richie, Her Simple Life, returns.
Alicia.
Even at a young age, Nicole Richie loved the spotlight. In this private home video, a young Nicole performs for the family.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder which you are.
This clever little girl even knew about looking good. Notice the way she adjusts the lighting to make it just right. Nicole's father, Lionel, recognized her talents early on.
Did you notice talent in your little girl when she was growing up?
Well, it was all over. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't deny it.
But the more Nicole craved a career in music, the less important everything else seemed.
Went to University of Arizona for a little while, and I stopped going there to come back home and just kind of pursue a career.
After spending only 2 years in college, she decided to follow in her father's footsteps and form a band. What kind of band is it? Like, what kind of music?
We're like 80s rock, like rock. It's gonna
little
be
hip hop.
Little hip hop.
Gotta have the hip hop. Right? It's a mix. It's a fusion. It's gonna be incredible. Watch out.
Watch out, indeed. Nicole's band included 1 model and 2 socialites.
Nicole Richie, Sophia Alberti,
Soleil, same last name, sister. Josie Mayer.
And how do you spell your last name?
Richie.
No one had any idea who she was back then, but that would soon change. Nicole developed an appetite for the LA club scene, and before long, she was a permanent fixture on young Hollywood's red carpet. And like a true wild child, she caught the tattoo bug, 9 to be exact.
I have the cross, I have wings on my back, I have my last name on my neck, I have a little bow on my neck, I have a tiara on my hip, I have ballerina slippers on my lower stomach because my dad wrote Ballerina Girl for me. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I have a cross.
Nicole, I love you. You're the cutest thing ever.
I have a cross with like
But I love how you have
down.
a technique. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nah, you know, you have like a whole thing you do.
You just like go down, yeah.
Did we ever have to worry about tattoos? If I brought a tattoo home, my father and mother would kill me.
But tattoos would soon become the least of Lionel's worries. When we come back, Nicole's party girl lifestyle gets her in trouble with the law.
I've been arrested. Like, all of these things have happened to me.
Her newfound fame makes her past fair game.
There's a lot of things that are untrue that are printed about me.
And later, hear what really happened the day Nicole got busted for drugs.
I had gotten out of the car to call somebody to come and pick me up because I knew that something bad was going to happen.
The details in her own words when Nicole Richie, Her Simple Life, returns.
On the Style Network.
In 2003, Nicole Richie landed the gig of a lifetime. She was cast opposite her best friend Paris Hilton in Fox's reality show, The Simple Life. But what most people don't know is that her role was originally created for someone else.
I heard that Paris and Nikki, her sister, were originally supposed to be cast as
Yes.
the two girls who go to Arkansas.
Yes.
So what happened? How'd you get involved?
They just had asked Nikki and Paris to do it. And Nikki, she's very reserved. She was in college and she doesn't want her whole life out in public like that.
Nikki's loss was Nicole's gain. The Simple Life was a hit, but the #1 show came with a price. Suddenly, Nicole's private life hit the headlines.
There's a lot of things that are untrue that are printed about me. What I learned to do, and this is something that my dad taught me, is to just ignore it. I'm so comfortable with like the fact that I know the truth that I'm sure if they printed something that actually was true, which I really haven't seen happen yet, but I'm sure if they printed something that was true, I'm sure that would upset me a little bit more than something that's not.
I wanted to clear up a couple things too. I heard that you were in a New York City bar and you were arrested for fighting. Is that right?
I was at a club in New York and I was not fighting. My friend had gotten into a fight with her boyfriend and her boyfriend poured vodka all over her. And the thing was is that he didn't even like pour it on top of her and say, sorry, the whole table for getting vodka all over you. And so I took someone else's, like, I actually just don't even think it was alcohol. I think it was just like water or something. And I just like threw it on his back. Like, take it like a man. Do you know what I mean? Like, who are you?
Of course.
So he turns around and he grabs me towards him. And by that time, like, everyone in the club had kind of seen, like, okay, it kind of like seen the whole thing build up. And he had gotten cut and he got butterfly stitches, which I found out are Band-Aids. But the story, you know, that I heard was, you stabbed him in the face, you stabbed him in the eyes, and I'm like,
So he
okay.
actually called the cops or called an attorney or something?
Yes, he did.
Oh my God.
Yes, he did.
I heard that you once got down in the middle of Sunset Boulevard to protest not being able to get a sandwich at 2 a.m. Was
Okay.
that true?
First of all, it was Vine.
I have the wrong boulevard.
You have the wrong
It was Vine.
street.
It was Vine. Okay.
Second of all, it wasn't protesting, but I was with my friends and I was like, I really want IHOP. And they wanted to go to another club. And I'm like, you guys, I'm so hungry. Can we please just stop at IHOP? And they're like, no.
It's funny,
I mean,
though.
people
Who
have done
cares?
so much worse.
Yeah.
It's not like I lied on the freeway and was like,
No.
I want to kill myself.
Come on.
It was
a joke. I understand.
I just wanted a sandwich.
I hear you. You just wanted a little IHOP.
Exactly.
The woman wants IHOP.
Let me have a little IHOP, right?
It's that untamed behavior that gets millions of viewers to tune into The Simple Life week after week, wondering what Nicole will do next.
Can you see my purse?
Did you lose your purse?
Yeah. Do you have my purse?
Grab your purse.
You lost your purse?
You're rebellious sometimes on the show. The Bleach episode, for instance.
My purse is in here! Where's my purse?
First of all, like any girl, if you get your purse stolen and people are sending you around on like a wild goose chase being like, your purse is over there, well, your purse is over there. I mean, it's rude.
You got fed up with
I just got very fed up, yeah.
Do you have that side of you in real life?
It's not just like I'm hot-tempered and oh my God, and I could blow up any second. I'm actually a very calm and collected person. You know, it's like they're filming you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a month. Nobody's life is perfect for a month. They're quilts. Make it fun. And I think that there was a lot of things going on besides me being on the farm. Like I had my own life at home, and no one knows about that because that's not part of the show. But I was dealing with things at home. It was the month. I was 10 days out of rehab. Like I was going through a lot, and it just kind of all was building up.
And it wasn't long before the pressure led to the biggest scandal of Nicole Richie's life. Up next, the bust of a lifetime. Nicole gets arrested for heroin possession. You'll hear her side, her family's reaction, and how she's bouncing back. It's the real story in her own words when Nicole Richie, Her Simple Life, returns. As Paris and Nicole were basking in the glow of their new superstar status, they were blindsided by scandal. Paris with the release of her infamous sex video, and Nicole with her drug sentencing, stemming from an arrest earlier in the year.
What happened exactly? You were driving down the street and you got pulled over?
I was driving down the street and I got pulled over for bad tags. I was not driving my car. And I actually didn't have my license. My license had been suspended already. And I had gotten out of the car to call somebody to come and pick me up because I knew that something bad was gonna happen. And I was like, do you mind if I use the phone? And they were like, yeah, go ahead, you know. So they asked me for ID, which I obviously didn't have it. And then I realized that I had a college ID. So I asked the police to go in my car and get my ID out. And that's when they found drugs in the car.
Who did you call first when that happened? Did you call your mom? Who did you call? Here's the laugh, the famous Nicole Richie laugh. I'm just kidding.
I didn't call my parents because I was so scared that I just didn't want to call my parents. So I had called a friend to come get me.
If I were not the first phone call, I was the second. And when you get that phone call that says, Dad, I'm in trouble and I need you to help me. And it's not to get me out of it. It was, I need some help. And that's when I felt the absolute sigh of relief and the calm as a parent. It finally says, okay, now I can help. I can be effective.
You were sentenced to probation as well as rehab, which you mentioned before. So when did you went to rehab before The Simple Life? Was it a short program, a long program?
I went to a 30-day program, yeah.
Was it successful? Were you happy with it?
It really was. I actually, the thing was is that I was going already. It was just, I'm telling you, it was like really bad timing. I was already going and I was driving a friend's car. And when they were like, well, we're gonna have to arrest you, I'm like, no, like you don't understand, not only is it not mine, I'm actually already going to rehab, which probably wasn't the smartest thing to say to them, but I was like, I'm going like in 2 days, like this isn't mine, I swear.
It's hard to determine who the drugs belonged to, but Nicole denied they were hers, but admitted to having a problem.
I went to rehab and then I came out and then I went to Arkansas. Then I came out and then they sentenced me to probation and to rehab again.
Would you ever do heroin again?
I would never do any drug again, ever.
Good for you.
Ever.
Really?
Really.
Why?
I mean, I did it and it was just, you know, obviously it makes you feel different than how you're feeling, but it's not any better, and it leads to bad things. It's so weird because now I'm looking back on it, all my friends went to rehab, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to rehab. I've been to 2 now, you know what I mean? I've been arrested, like all of these things have happened to me, and you don't realize how deep of a hole you're in until you get yourself out.
I'm just so proud of her that she's kind of gotten over this hurdle. She understands now. She's a wise old bird now. She's been there, she's done that. The best part now is for her to enjoy her life, starting at 22.
If there's one thing you know for sure about the future, what is it?
I know that in the future, no matter what happens to me, I'll always have my family support and I'll always have my friends support. And that's so comforting to me, is that I know that I'll never be alone.
Nicole Richie has only been on this earth for a short while, but she's experienced enough emotion to last a lifetime. The little girl who grew up in her father's shadow is now a young woman who has created a name for herself all by herself. She is the pop star's daughter, who some doubted would survive Hollywood's fast lane, but somehow she's proved them wrong. Not only is she a survivor, Nicole Richie is a star. Until next time, I'm Juliana DePandy, bringing you the real story.